A warm welcome to all of you and a heartfelt namaste. I, Anuradha Sharda, would like to thank all of you for watching our videos, writing in your comments, and also writing in your suggestions. So, we are back with Chandrasekhar Sharma ji. Sir, warm welcome and a pranam to you, sir.
No kind of.
Sir, so today what are we going? We have been doing Gemini astrology in a
Yeah,
series with sir. We've been continuing for a long time,
yeah.
and today we are going to talk on Navamsha, Swamsha. So, sir, what are we talking on today in the Navamsha,
See,
Swamsha?
now we are going. See, I mean, by now, I think those who have followed the lectures must have understood that we are talking at position of planets with respect to Swamsha. That is the position of the Chara Atmakarak in Navamsha chart.
Right, sir.
And if they have listened carefully, they would understand that when it is ninth from Navamsha, it has to do with the ninth bhava of chart also. So
Right.
now we are going to look at what happens when certain planets are placed in the seventh bhava from the Swamsha. Always remember that this would also be more or less applicable, not exactly applicable, because there are other planets also acting simultaneously. We take it in isolation, never take them in isolation. So, same will be applicable to direct, the natal chart or the Drishkan chart or even what is called as the Karakansha chart.
Right, sir.
That is taking that the Navamsha occupied by the Chara Atmakarak, take that Rashi to the Lagna chart and see from there. So there are many options. So you can apply the same principles with some modification and some understanding even to the natal chart. So Gemini is not something apart from Parashari. The principles are different. The focus is on a different area.
Right.
So, because astrology is a vast subject, so focus is on X area or Y area or Z area, and all these sages have chosen different areas to illuminate.
Hmm.
Parasharas, Marichi, etc., were Pravartakas, they gave all the knowledge.
Hmm.
So, you will find mention of these things even in the Parashari itself. Unfortunately, people think that Jaimini and Parashari are different. Let me assure them that they are not different. They are one and the same thing. Gemini is focusing on a very specific area, which has to do with the Karakansha and the uh, Arudha Lagna, so Arudas and other factors. So now we go to the seventh from Swamsha. What happens? Seventh house, everybody knows, is related to spouse.
Right, sir.
Even here in astrology, at least it is my opinion, that this is a relativity, science of relativity, and the science is sex neutral. So when we talk about what happens when what sort of a wife a Jataka will get, it is very obvious that if it is a child belonging to a lady,
Lady.
then it would refer to her husband.
Hmm.
Maybe some of the characteristics might change. And this is from the point of view of the Jataka. Please remember this. What happens is when we talk of beauty, when we talk of intellect, from whose point of view is always a question.
Exactly.
And that has to be understood. It is from the point of view of the Jataka.
Sir,
So,
I'll just take 1 minute to ask you a question. It might seem controversial, but then this is a question I have that
uh-huh,
there are many classical texts
yeah,
which have a specific chapter. I know Brihad Jataka has that. Stri
yeah,
Jatakam.
yeah. There is one absolutely. Even there, they have said what is not applicable to lady will be applicable to male. And if something is there in the lady's chart, and if he for some reason or other of culture, maybe of training, is not able to do it, it is her husband who will do it. Because once you are a family, whatever is done by members of the family affects everybody.
Okay.
We must understand in certain communities, especially in India, that was also in the Western world. Nowadays, everybody wants to forget it. Ladies were only supposed to cook and take care of the children, isn't it? And yet there were ladies who used to manage even that person's job or work or business well.
Yes.
So, but generally, naturally, if a girl marries a king, she will automatically become a queen. She is not king, but that Raja Yoga has already happened in her chart. She is enjoying all the facilities of a royal family.
Hmm.
Isn't it? So many a times, because she is not born to some king, so she cannot become a king. It's very obvious. But her husband could be king. So this has to be understood. That is where in Stri Jagataka, even Bharat Parashar has part of that, where that the famous Puja dosha is mentioned only there. And the dosha is Bhartru Hanti, that is one who kills her husband. Okay, so kills doesn't mean, see, when somebody marries her, he may die. I mean, her husband might die. And that is what the Puja Deshwa is there. And then he says, if the similar position is also in the chart of
As
the husband, this will not happen. So you
okay.
have to understand. So apply logic. Unfortunately, logic is nowadays at premium, but yeah, one should apply logic. Because Putra Sthan, fifth house, it can as
Uh,
well be a girl. I mean, it is not necessary everybody will have only a male
hmm.
child, is it? But Putra means male. So this is a sex neutral science. We have to understand the application of those principles should be like suppose eighth house. Eighth house has aspect of Jupiter could be. I mean, it could be anything from diabetes to anything, but it can also be some growth. If he is a male, it would perhaps be prostate, whereas for a girl, it could be the tumors in the uterus. At least
Right.
this much brain we must apply,
Yes,
isn't
sir.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, if not more. So don't take all these things absolutely literally. Use your viveka, that is sense of proportion, and then apply it.
Right,
So
sir.
we will come with the first shloka, which is Labhe Chandra Guru Bhyam Sundari. Labhe, when we disencrypt it into Katapayadi, it is 7. So when 7th bhava from Swangsha is occupied by Moon and
And
Jupiter, then she is a beautiful lady.
hmm.
Or beautiful husband, obviously. Isn't
Hmm.
it? If it is a lady's chart, because this can happen in anybody's chart. So we have to understand that. And Sundari, from whose point of view? From that person's point of view. Beauty, who is to see? The Jataka
That
is.
is to see. Yes.
Because
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
yeah, because Jupiter can also give a bit of bulk.
Hmm.
Moon can give a round face. So maybe not everybody would like that. So
Hmm.
don't take it literally. It means because these are benefic planets.
Hmm.
Jupiter is full-time benefic.
Hmm.
Moon is with him. Any planet with moon gains strength. It is called as samagama.
Hmm.
Exactly opposite of the asta, the combustion, which
Right.
happens when a planet is near sun, because that planet loses its effulgence. Whereas here it is enhanced. So we have to understand that. So that is naturally Jupiter is very powerful. If
Hmm.
Jupiter is powerful, this powerful Jupiter aspect in the Lagna giving also mm, strength to that Lagna, that is the ascendant. And so the Jatak would feel very good.
Hmm.
And so from his point of view, she is beauty. Or he is beauty. I mean, if it is a
If
lady, then
yeah.
it is beauty. So, and this you will also find in the natal chart. It would
Yeah.
not be much different. So this
Right,
I
sir.
want to again and again reiterate it. I understand, I repeat it, but unfortunately there is a
Reason for doing
let
so.
us say, there is a sort of thought that this is a different system and that is different system. If people care to read it properly, they will understand. It is almost similar, isn't
Yes.
it? Then comes Rahuna Vidhva, the next. If Rahu is there,
In the
she will
seventh from the Swamsha
see now Sundari is
is
female. Rahuna Vidhva is also a female, that is a divorcee. Obviously, if it is a female stat, he will be a divorced male, isn't it? Why Rahuna Vidhva? Now, this is again taken as at face value. Rahu, we know, is something unusual. In ancient times, marriages of widows rarely happen. They rarely married. So
hmm.
just looking at Rahul, don't say that somebody is married to a a lady who is
Is
divorced or whose husband actually Vidva means whose husband is dead.
Yes, sir.
She has already lost her. Actually, it is not divorce also. It is one who has lost
The
her
last
husband.
husband.
They never used to remarry in ancient time. So it is unusual. So Rahu, we know means also Buddha, he means Shudra and then so many things. He represents everything which is unusual. So even from a different culture is a possibility. And since they are talking about seven, this could also be representing the partners that a person might have to continue a good partnership. We are talking about the seventh bhava, isn't it? So,
Right,
I
sir.
mean, this is my interpretation. What is the standard interpretation? I am already telling you. If Rahu is there, then
He will,
he will marry somebody
he,
who has lost her husband.
husband.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, Not divorcee, but
But in
this
today's day and time, sir, we can also use the word. We
we
can
can use divorcee. It can be somebody from a distinctly different culture.
nurture. Yes.
See,
Yes.
because it is Rahu. Rahu, we also take it to be foreigner.
Right.
Then what is foreigner? For Indians,
Uh,
it is easy to say that foreigner means Western world.
mm,
What do the Westerners themselves say? So
yeah.
Germans will say that French is a different community, and Britishers will say Germans are different, but they might forget that Normans had invaded, Britain, and they became part of Britain. So the culture, once it is adopted, then that they become part of that system, isn't
Right,
it?
sir.
So we have to always use our grace.
Logic. Yes.
Ha, ha. So Rahula Vidhva is Rahu, whatever is represented by Rahu, could be the one with whom they will jail well.
Right.
Because in those days, marriage means it was supposed to last till somebody dies or whatever. Isn't
Right.
it? So, so they are talking about a bond. These people can bond together well.
Right.
That is the idea behind it. Next comes Shanina Vayodhika, Rogini, Rogino Tapaswini Va. Now
Yeah.
you are now looking at those qualities of a planet being very clearly described here. Saturn, we know, is mature. Vruddha Graha, they call it.
Hmm.
Vruddha has two meanings. One is somebody who is mature in mind, and other way in age. So Vayodhika means uh, of more age
Hmm.
than whom generally than the Jataka, the one whose chart we are looking at. Saturn is that. So once you understand, you will understand. Perhaps I mean you will at least pardon me for expressing a bit of different opinion in the earlier two aphorisms. Then Rogino, somebody who can be uh,
Diseased or unhealthy.
diseased or sick or not having a good
Unable
health.
health. Right.
Why? Because we know that
Shani.
Saturn
Hmm.
is connected with arthritis, what is called as a Vata Roga. So
Right.
what will happen? Saturn in the seventh house will be aspecting the fourth house.
Hmm.
So tenth from the seventh will be knees. Here I
Hmm.
am talking about the Graha aspect, not the Rashi aspect. I
Hmm.
mean, I am just trying to give the idea behind why they are talking about Rogi. No, that
Hmm.
is somebody who is sickly.
Hmm.
Saturn is also supposed to be very slim and thin. So
Hmm.
that's how it is being. Don't take it that lady is going to be sick all her life. No, that is not it. Saturn, she might be. mm, Generally, you will find age difference between the spouse and
The
the
person.
Jataka. The
Yeah. The
Jataka, whether male
partner.
or female, when Saturn is influencing the seventh house.
House.
Or Tapaswini, she will become a great ascetic. Now, where from the ascetic has come?
Shani gives detachment.
Saturn is detachment. Saturn is called what we call Uranus planet.
Hmm.
So not much interested in the sexual activities. He is given all those things. So tapasvi nature and Saturn, the great thinker, when connected with Jupiter, generally indicates an inclination towards the spiritual part of the life. So tapasvini. So we can understand now what is happening. Planets in the seventh bhava from the Swangsha can indicate what sort of a life partner or even partners in general a person is likely to choose.
Right.
In the same fashion as we look at it in the normal chart, the regular natal chart.
Hmm.
So I am just trying to find out the convergence between two things. It is said that when there is difference of opinion between sages, a wise man, which I am not, by the way, tries to, reconcile them. As
Right.
happens in the bank statements, you reconcile them. So you reconcile and try to find out what they are trying to tell. So
Right.
these are the three aphorisms in our first thing. Then we come to the next. So now we are coming to the next aphorism, next sutra. We have to understand this is a continuing thread.
Right.
Labhe, it started from Labhe, seventh house from Swansha. The chapter starts with Asa Swansho Grahana.
Hmm.
The thread is still continuing with reference to Swansha.
Right.
This has to be understood. This has to be understood. Kujena Vikalangi. If Mars is there, she might have some uh, injuries. We can call Vikalangi is a complex thing. It can also
Some
talk about
problems.
physically challenged, as we
Huh.
call it. Nowadays, we don't call handicap. So the fashionable thing to say is physically challenged.
Hmm.
Vikalangi means actually weak body. Vikala
Right.
means weak and Anga is body.
Hmm.
So why? Because this Mars in the seventh house does aspect the eighth house.
Hmm.
Again, I am talking about Graha Drushti, so don't misunderstand me. Actually, here Rashi Drushtis are to be seen. But I am just trying to connect it with the great old Parashara's theories, which are not at variance with this one. And Mars gives an inclination to be very active, to be involved in sports. And if you are involved in especially competitive sports, it is more likely that you will suffer some injuries. And some of the injuries might last you long. People sprain their ankle, sometimes the tendon is broken, then you get operated upon. If you look at the tennis players, you will understand what happens. So Mars has that extra energy and he can do that. So they are telling from seventh, if Kuja, Kuja means the great Mars, son of Earth, is
Hmm.
there, then
And
because
it
of
can,
the excess energy, it is possible that she might have some small
physical
bodily ailment.
ailments.
Bodily, it need not be handicapped or whatever because that is taking it too far. It doesn't happen. We must never lose sight of what actually happens when charts come to you. Just because it is said here, so it is no. That's not. That's may not be fair.
Applicable at this moment.
And it is also not fair to the client because then you are taking something wrong. So
Right.
you must always apply your mind. And then the next aphorism comes Ravina Swakule Gupta Cha. Now this is a complex uh, aphorism. If Ravi, that is sun, is in the seventh from the Swansha, then you might not be aware of her background.
Okay.
Swakule, Swakule, own her family is not known.
Okay.
Uh, I'm not very sure whether that happens in actual charts, but those who are learned can I would say she would be perhaps because Ravi is there, Sun is there. Sun does give arrogance to a person. So that Swakule Gupta means she might be acting in a way to convey being a great, powerful lady, which she might not originally be after marriage. This is how I would combine these things and make a sense out of it. Because
Hmm.
Sun in the Lagna gives, ego. Sun in the seventh will give ego to whom? To the spouse. And what is ego? Thinking about yourself which you are not. So that could be the way the Swatule Guptacha would be applicable. Is how I would look at it. It has been translated that whose kula, that is whose family is not known. That doesn't happen. At least not in the modern times. isn't it? And everybody will have son in seven sometime or other.
Yeah.
So,
So
I mean, everybody is aware of what happened. Of course, it will be less possible in Navamsha chart, but the possibility is still there. And you don't get so many people who don't know where from they are born. Guptacharya means
no.
trying to hide. Like suppose I am I am born illiterate and I become education minister and then I talk about education. So this is Swatule Guptacharya because kul is from where you come, isn't it? It could be with reference to my education, it could be with reference to my affluence of my family or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is how I would interpret it, and people should test it on real life charts.
Hmm. And it's a
So
very right thing to say, as you said, that when if this is happening in, say, in the population, entire population, even if 1/12 of them is having it, then it cannot happen as a fact that 1/12 wouldn't know where they came from. This
that's
is
right.
that's
So what is happening
preposterous.
is this lady might pose to be above what she is,
Yes.
and people might not know it.
Yeah. And
So
maybe hiding her background. So
background, yeah, yeah. I mean, posing much higher than what she is or
is her
was.
part. Yes.
Is or was. This would also apply to the male. So I mean, if it is a lady's child, then her spouse could be
And
that.
right.
Slightly going off the track, but I think here we are discussing the basic principles and trying to understand what is Jaimini Sutras all about.
Right.
Sutras are difficult to understand for the simple reason there is a way that they are to be read. They are also to be read with respect to the earlier sutras wherever nothing is said. And we know son in the second is gives Raja Presha, servant of the king. So son has to do something with the king, and king has ego. And here this same king, the Ravi son, is sitting in the seventh house. So we must connect this to that one to make a sense out of the sutra, and that is how sutras were interpreted in the ancient time. There is a aphorism sometime I will tell about how sutras are to be interpreted when nothing is said in the sutra itself.
Right.
Uh, Adrushta Sutraha is the
Yes.
aphorism, but
Yeah.
I'll give it some time. Uh, so next we come to Budhena Kalavati. If Mercury is there in the seventh house, she will be somebody who is artistic, or he is somebody who is artistic. Now, generally, we connect art with Venus,
Hmm.
isn't it?
Hmm.
So, how come Budhena Kalavati is something we must think about? And then try to find out the rational. The rational, perhaps for me, is Buddha or Mercury is somebody who is expert in communication,
Hmm.
isn't it? And trade. And so
Okay.
he has arts connected with the Buddha, the Mercury. So perhaps art of communication, good communicator.
Okay. That's also a fair way to look at it.
So that might be it. And perhaps because Buddha ultimately is friendly to Venus, could be other arts also, or the commercial part of the art would be something that would be here. Buddha also represents commerce, or the trader. He is called the trader, isn't it? So, and we know that if Buddha or Mercury is in the seventh house, that person himself could be connected with some business. Seventh house is also a house of business. So I
Right.
think he would be, or maybe she is connected with mm, business which is artistic, because in ancient time that is what ladies used to do. Even in Europe, it was more about sewing and knitting and all those the
Yes.
crochet and even in our places, beautiful rangolis they used to take out, or dresses they would design for themselves. So I would think this is what is intended. Somebody who is good at commerce, who is able to communicate an idea better.
Right. Yeah, and that's a possibility because she could also be one of those people who could be behind the scenes working on the husband's
Yeah.
finances,
With even with him,
even with him. Yeah.
even with him. If she's of that type, she would work even with her husband. Both of them might be in a
Mhm.
business, or he might be in a business with his wife, depending on whose child it is. It is a male or a female.
Right. Right.
And because we have to understand that this would also happen in case of people uh, who have never married.
Yes.
See, if we use our, I mean, gray cells, we know, so it can be the business partner.
Right.
It can be a business partner, isn't
Right,
it?
sir. Right,
So,
sir.
though in the standard text it is not given like this, I am giving both the versions so that the
People can have a, yeah.
learned astrologer can make a sense out of it themselves and apply it on the chart that they get and find out what is right and let us also know so that we learn from it.
Right, sir.
Now comes the most complex aphorism. Chape Chandrena Navrutte, which means Chandrena Anavrutte Deshe.
Indeed.
Chape means in Katapayadi it is four.
Hmm.
Now this has been translated by most of the commentators that I have read about, I mean whose text I have read, that the person will have coitus in open land. Now
Hmm.
this does not appeal to my mind. For the simple reason, what is being told is chape. Now, Chapa means fourth. This is fourth house. Had this been 12th house of, what we call Shayana Sukha, enjoyment of the bed pleasures, house of bed pleasures, or eighth of the sexual organs, or even seventh of getting
Marry
one
union.
each other,
Huh.
I would have accepted. But here that thread is broken. So the assumption that this refers to spouse, I think is wrong. Though what all learned has said, I have already told you. This is the translation that if moon is placed, whereas when Guru moon is placed, she is beautiful. But if only moon is placed in the fourth house, then he would have first sexual congress with his wife, or she will have with the husband in an open space. I don't find any logic to it.
Hmm.
And when no logic is found, you have to understand what is being said. Now, Anavritta Desh. Anavritta means one which is not covered, but one which is not round also is Anavritta, and one which is not populated much is also Anavritta.
Huh. Okay.
So now this fourth house could mean refers to the house of the person. Desha is also one of the nomenclature of house. Somebody who has studied the Vastu, I am sure would know that that in Rigveda and others, there are so many similes, I mean, synonyms are given for word Vastu, and one of them is also Desha. I think this person would live in a place which is not much populated.
Right.
This is how I would look at it.
Right. Which
Though
is a
I must
perfect,
mention that almost all the commentators have talked about having first coitus in the
open.
with the spouse in open space.
Yeah,
So
but this one makes a lot of sense, and this one is perfectly fine sitting with the what you're saying is that it could be a place where they could be going out in the first time where there would be no people,
no,
much
why
of
should they go in the first time there? We are talking about 4,000 because the thread is broken. Labhi is gone.
yes, yeah,
One house is gone. Now we are
yes,
talking and Anavritta Desha doesn't mean no, his house itself maybe, or he or she might come from a place. The Jataka himself might be living in a place which is not much populated.
populated,
He might
yes,
have come from such a place.
yeah,
Or his house may be in a locality which is not very
you
crowded.
counted right,
Because now we will look at Chape. We are looking
yeah,
at the fourth house.
right,
Isn't it?
sir.
So for what does fourth house represent? His car. His, he may have an open top car. I don't, but Deshe means a place where people live.
Right,
Isn't it?
yeah,
And Anavritta does mean what I am saying. I mean, somebody can check the Sanskrit
everything,
dictionaries and they will understand. Avritta means that is which is round, and Anavritta means which is not round. Is one
right.
of the
Meanings
meanings.
and Sanskrit
Avritta means covered, Anavritta means uncovered,
cover
but there is one more, one which is not frequently
habit.
I mean, what we
Inhabited.
call where frequent people do not
Not
enter frequently.
yes,
Is
and
it?
with Sanskrit I found one thing, sir, that when I've been working with Sanskrit, like I had also told this to you, that in for every Sanskrit word there will be minimum 4 to 5 meanings, and
Yeah.
you have to,
Absolutely.
they're very similar, so you have to understand which one has to be applied where
Yes,
before
yes,
you.
absolutely, absolutely. And there has to be reason. Logic has to be. See, this being a science, I treat this as a science, absolute science. and that is why it needs a logic. It cannot be illogical. I
Right,
mean,
sir.
that is how I would look at it. I mean, I don't go by that aphorism that Venus is in the 12th house, so a person is,
Immoral.
immoral, and that is idiocy of the highest order. But I mean, I beg your pardon, I should not use these words, but I don't find any, anything to substantiate that logic.
Yes.
Yeah, he would be able to spend much. That is okay.
Yes.
That is why it is a big Raja Yoga if Venus is in the
Uh,
12th house.
Sir, but I also find that those people are very kind-hearted, and I also find that they give a lot in charity
They
unknowingly.
would, naturally, it is a Shubha Graha, a benefic planet in the 12th
That
house.
house,
They,
yes.
spend for good things, also
Yes.
spend for
Charity.
ornaments and other things who want to live lavishly, which is correct. There is no
Uh,
doubt about it. But this is what happens, and at least at this age, I think it is my duty to make things very clear. Instead of just brushing them under the carpet, we must. And the next aphorism will again confirm what I am saying. Next aphorism is karmani pape shurah. Karma decrypted in the Katapayadi system is three. Look at the similarities. If malefics occupy the third bhava from the Swamsha, person is valorous.
hmm.
Now go back to the good old Parashari. A malefic in the third house
Is
gives you
good.
a threat. So there
Yes.
is hardly any difference, except the point of reference has changed.
Hmm.
Almost similar importance is being given to the position of the
And
Charahatma Karaka in the Navamsha chart.
that.
So this we have to understand where the mm, uh, so they are giving you, the great sage is giving you an additional focal point from which also you should view
Yeah,
things.
right.
And then next one, so because Chape is gone and Karma has started, so that fourth house is gone now. So Karmani Pape Shura, and then Shubhe Katar. If benefics are there, he is timid. Now this timid also has to be taken in the right perspective, isn't it?
Hmm.
Same happens in Parashari. Shubha Graha in the third house, benefics in the third house, the person is oh, timid.
Hmm.
What does timid mean? I'm sorry, I'm delaying this thing, but I think people should understand it properly. What
But
is timid? And what is sure? What is valorous? Look at what they are aspecting. They are aspecting the ninth house. From there, the planets, I mean, with the Rashi Drushti, it will always be ninth house. In case of, Graha Drushti, that is planetary aspect, in case of the Rashi Drushtis, of course, that would only happen if the house is a dual house, the
right,
third house,
right,
because
right,
duals are still duals.
right.
So what happens is there is harm to the ninth house. What is
Hmm.
ninth house all about? What is correct and what is not correct?
Hmm.
Now, if you go on thinking about what is correct and what is not correct, in this Kali Yuga, at least you are not likely to, prosper much.
In life,
So let
much.
us be very honest about it,
Right.
isn't it? And that is the idea, that is the logic behind it. There has to be logic. And otherwise, why would they say that?
Yeah.
Uh,
Totally
so,
beautiful, sir. Very beautiful.
so this is our slide is coming to the end,
And yes, sir.
and those who are, and most of those who must be listening would be great astrologers, should really think about what must be the actual interpretation of that Chape Chandrayana Navrutte Deshe.
It's a beautiful place to put your mind to, because then
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Sanskrit, as you see, and sir has been studying Sanskrit since he was probably 6 or 7 years of age. So when he says
yes.
that, I'm sure there's an authority behind it. With this, we come to an end of this session today, but we'll continue more with sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.